in most of our heat racing action. Race director giving final instructions to our front row in terms of the type of pace they're looking for as they bring them down to green. And we'll turn them loose. .25 Carters in Heat 2A with Adam Nagao on pole, John Kimbrell to his outside.
Or Mike, actually, we might be good until the end of the Heat.
So our first heat race of round 2 just about set to go green here as they head down the hill. Starter looking them over. And we go green. Oh, we got a spin down the hill just outside the exit of Long Beach. So that will set one of our racers back. Can't see a number as of yet. So that's the tough spot down in Long Beach, which is a real tight left-hander. And somebody's going to have to really start making up some territory there. In the midst of lap number 1 here for our first group of round number 2. Coming up the hill for the first time. Around Corner Curva. Completing lap number 1. We'll give you the order as soon as they come across the stripe. Ian Enns was in the 48 cart, followed by Aaron Scott, Sergio Bravo, Adam Nagao, and Chris Huerta. Rounding out the top 5. Aaron Downs running 6th. Diego Morales in 7th. Fred Ogram in 8th. Andres Prieto in 9th. And Sean Fite in the 10th spot. As has been typical so far, looks like your top 8 runners going to go just nose to tail, shake things out, get themselves in a rhythm. And as the laps begin to wind down, people will begin to kind of look around and see how they can step out, possibly make a pass. We got a little bit of nose to tail action going right now, coming around Corner Curva. Enns and Scott in your top 2 as we complete lap number 2. Heat 2A on the track. Heat 2B. Make sure you're ready to rumble. Nice long line of racers coming around Contino Carousel. So we got 11 racers beginning to kind of break away from the rest of the race pack as we're still early on in Heat 2A. Scott looking to the inside now on Corner Curva. Looks like he's got to move and will take the lead from Ian Enns. So we have a change for your leader here, as now we'll see 7 to go. Bravo still running in 3rd, now moving into 3rd, I should say. Adam Nagao in 4th, Chris Huerta in the 5th spot. So it looks like Corner Curva has been a real key place where changes of the leader have been made. So it's a good passing zone here for most of these racers from what we've seen so far. So it still remains a train of about 10 to 11 racers making up the top pack as they come up the hill. Scott, your leader, with Enns doing a little bit of drafting there. heading down the hill to complete one more lap, and now we got 6 to go. So now as we head almost to halfway through the race, you'll begin to see some strategy begin to play out. Scott remains your leader. Doesn't look like there's been any much of a change with positions 2 on back. Everybody just kind of content to go fall in line for the moment. That will drastically change as we get inside of 5. Once again, coming around down the hill. As we're halfway home, 5 laps remaining. Everybody just keeping the nose clean for right now. But as soon as we get past start finish here, we get 4 to go. Let's see if we start to see a little moving and shaking here. Scott remains your leader. Ends running second. Right on that back bumper. Now, looks like a few racers beginning to step out, trying to take a look. Looks like we might have a little bit of change for that 5th spot. Still no change up front. 4 laps to go, so time beginning to wind down. I'm sure people beginning to strategize now what type of move to make and where to make it on the race circuit. Still got a nice long pack of about 10 to 11 racers in your front top 10. As Scott brings it up the hill. Ends. Little bit of a push there coming around corner curva. Now as we head back downhill, they will see 3 to go. Still nobody looking to step out of line as they head into Long Beach. Everybody cleanly out of the carousel. Still no changes from what we can see in your top 10. So Aaron Scott will very cleanly bring him up the hill. Ian Ends still in that 2nd spot. But laps are winding down. They'll see 2 to go, this time by the stripe. Now it looks like we got a challenge for the 3rd position there. Sergio Bravo was running 3rd. Looks like he's getting a challenge from Nagao as they come around the carousel. A little bit of side-by-side action now in positions 5 on back. So that will give our top 2 racers a little bit of an opportunity to gap the rest of the field as we have 2 laps remaining. Coming up the hill, Scott looking around. Boy, really rubbernecking that time, finding out where everybody's at. And Ian Ends continuing to be content in that 2nd spot, at least for now. White flags coming out. Headed down into Long Beach in the final lap with Group 2A. Now into the carousel. Still nobody stepping out as of yet. And it continues to be Scott and Enns. So Scott will bring it up the hill for one final time. Let's see if Enns tries to make a move as they head into Corner Curva. Nothing yet. So Scott with one more turn. Doesn't look like he's going to get any kind of challenge. Checker flag is out. And it looks like Aaron Scott will take Heat 2A. Followed by Ian Enns, Adam Nagao running third, Chris Huerta running fourth, Aaron Downs running fifth. It's Diego Morales in the sixth spot. Sergio Bravo running seventh, Andres Pareto running eighth, Fred Ogrum in the ninth spot, and Sean Fight rounding out your top 10.